Hello, hello. Welcome to 216 Weekly. I'm fearagent. Joining me shortly will be Claire Mouse. Hope everyone is doing all right. We got some Invrosia today with Humbug and Hitman. And let's get this race going. Invrosia being inverted and other Rosia stuff. Things will be Rosia'd. So you start with the sword. It's inverted. Big keys are shuffled except for the GT big key. What else? I think there's something to do with bosses, but I don't remember. Guaranteed item. That's the Rosia part. Correct. Guaranteed item on a boss. Okay. Waiting for one more person to ready up. Hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday. Very early here on the West Coast of the United States for me. Gonna have a big day. We got the 216 Weekly going on right now. Then the Mariners be playing at 4 p.m. Eastern. And can be going to the division finals or the division series in baseball. Super excited for that. And then tonight, Gamachu and I will be taking on, don't forget to track us, I believe on Speed Gaming 2 for our second match of the first week of the league.
Yo, good morning, Fear. How's it going?
Hey, Claire Mouse, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, good morning. You mentioned it's early. For some of us on the East Coast, which is 3 hours later, it is also might be a little early as well. But
That's true. That's true.
It's semantics on the weekend. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. You also mentioned good luck tonight, of course. It's gonna be a pretty big game. Pretty tough opponents, I think. But I think it should be a good time.
Yeah, we won our first one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And see if we can go 2-0.
Yeah, but that's right. Yeah, so we're playing Invrosia today. Right. It was a Plasma Kappa who picked this mode last week, right?
Yep.
Was he the winner?
Yep. That was a true pot hunt that we did.
Yeah.
So back to the normal stuff now. Back to normal.
I was gonna say it might be almost like at the opposite of the spectrum, right? You got like give me everything and possibly like anything that's anywhere, and then you got all the way to like it's not even like a standard state world state, right? Just like it's inverted.
Right. Yeah.
You know where things are. Kind of ish, there's an item guarantee in the boss, for example, right?
Right. Yeah. So I won't be playing this week. It'll be Gamachu and Ramon on my side.
Okay.
I like Invrosia. I think it's all right.
Yeah, I believe like when I first so I think like before the league reveal, like links for the modes, and mods were kind of asked to give some feedback and thoughts about like what the modes were, and like my comment for Invrosia was that this is a surprisingly good mode for being inverted. Like typically like inverted, I will say does get some flack. Some of it is justifiable, some of it may be just a bit overblown, but this is surprisingly good.
So starting out with a mushroom, that's nothing. That does absolutely nothing for us.
Yeah, but it looks like actually, so I don't actually know what people maybe tend to, especially when you have a sword as Hitman's doing. Maybe one common thing is you want to check the tree pulls, but it is quite dangerous. Just fairies though, so maybe if you end up getting like a little bit lucky, you can maybe you can farm some bombs, and then hey, you got Hype Cave with free 5 items.
So it looks like 5-6 were Thieves Town and Mire, and pendants are Skullwoods and Pod.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. We're doing map checks here. Yeah. Nice catch. Yeah, looks like Hitman's also confirming that. Yep, nice. 5-6 are Thieves Town and Mire. And then Skullwoods is a blue pendant. Speaking of Skullwoods, though, Humbug basically beelining it towards one of the probably the best farming locations. Hitman's looking he's going to do the same. Early resources, just just like any other situation, is very, very valuable. In inverted, especially, can be a bit more punishing, just because, at least in like non-inverted or like regular, right? You got a lot of very easy sphere 0, sphere 1 options, Kakariko, your uncle, Hyrule Castle, or whatever, and you have lots of opportunities to try and get resources. In
Mm-hmm.
inverted, the opportunities I think aren't as good, and especially you've got stuff like chess game and like dig game, like stuff that also costs money, which again, money is not part of the logic, right? So you could be, trying to farm up some stuff just so you can go, like buy whatever, or dig up, like your glove or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, you can, right? But still, the arrow game also costs money, and notably 20 rupees.
Yep.
And for what it's worth, you do have to be a little bit more practiced with it. But I mean, as we're seeing, right, we got some bombs, so hopefully we're gonna get a couple, get some rupees. But you really gotta get that, like, initial, venture capitalist startup funding for yourself,
Right.
right?
I think Hype Cave is a good spot to check that, and it looks like that's what Humbug's going to do. I was surprised he checked Link's house first and then immediately saved and quit, because I feel like you just go Skull Woods, get the bombs, and then save, quit, do Link's house, and then do Hype Cave, maybe
Right,
left.
yeah.
But
Right, yeah. Right. What I thought Hitman was doing, maybe, was a bit more like conventional, right? Because you're basically just right there. You may as well go see what the tree pulls are.
yeah, still no money. Still no money though. Heart piece.
Heart piece.
There's our Moon Pearl.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Oh, okay. I was gonna feel kind of bad.
Which big key was that?
The big key Hera.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna feel a little bit bad.
Oh no! Do you see that?
I did. Well, talk about being, Hitman's getting rewarded for his due diligence and Skull
Yeah.
Woods.
So
Now-
okay, so
yeah,
each dungeon has an extra item since there's the big keys are shuffled, right? And we're
Right,
still
right,
doing defeat Ganon, 7-7 defeat Ganon, right? I think that's all
right.
still the same, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was also gonna say that, like, for what it's worth, because in this case, there you have so many limited options in inverted, like in the early game. Even if you, in this case, let's say last locate your gloves, not going to be too big of a deal.
Yeah,
you don't have too many options for you to really
right,
explore.
Right. Yeah, you're going to get funneled into that spot regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and of course, you're right. As Hitman and Humbug have liberally used their starting sword, certainly makes life a whole nicer in this case. Yeah, especially for like early, whatever, just regular plain inverted, right? So it could be quite challenging. You're maybe trying to do like burn a blind or
right,
or like through hammer, like hammer moth is just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Hitman being very thorough gets his glove out of Skull Woods. With the glove and the lamp, that means we have access up to the mountain.
Right.
The Moon Pearl actually gives us that. What? I guess that gives us access to nothing else. I was trying to think, because you can get to the light world on Death Mountain.
Right, but you can't really do much.
Right, like you could still get the spec. You could get the spec rock item without the Moon Pearl.
I guess for what it's worth, you could potentially use your sword in the light world to try and stave off dead rocks, maybe, as you're trying to, put the old man back.
Oh, right. And as Ari points out in chat, there's a second sword. Ag is actually in logic as well, because there is no barrier. Even if there was, there's a master sword available, but there is no barrier to get in. You just need a sword,
right,
in the lamp.
Alright, yeah, it looks like though Hitman is just taking a very slightly different path in Village of Outcast. Does get rewarded with bombos. Debatable whether or not it can actually help him. It may in Thieves Town, just because you're in a pinch, you do have a good amount of magic. Maybe it could be useful to clear out a room that you might otherwise be stuck in. But you know what? Our money problems are over. We found.
We did it. We did it.
Yes. Yeah. Now, of course, I think I caught one item in the front, one non-item in the front, which is that compass.
Right.
That the Hitman just picked up. Of course, no big key means that even in this case, we do have everything we could possibly want, quote unquote. We could actually go be blind, but we just don't have access.
Right. No big key. So I don't think we've seen Big Game yet, right?
We haven't, no. Yeah, right. So Hitman, I think he went down to Brewery first, and then he's gonna finish up Thieves Town, and then Humbug probably taking more average average path through Village of Outcasts, basically just is doing everything top to bottom.
Okay. Can we get to pod? Yes, we can get to pod. Logically, we can't get to pod. But you can just current jump over there. But really, it doesn't. I don't feel like there's much incentive to do that.
Yeah, right now, right, because as you mentioned, there is stuff now available for them at the mountain with that glove and and the lamp. Not that again, you know, 3 hearts is probably not the most ideal amount of health that you have.
Yeah.
When trying to deal with, like, say, Lionels, but you know, sometimes Humbug actually giving up the heart.
No.
Yeah, so I don't think he had enough heart pieces to make a full heart container, but I don't know, especially early on, like it certainly could, you know, it could be helpful.
So I think Humbug is out of checks, right? So he's got to go back to Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's looking like. And I certainly, I don't really blame him, you know, just because like that room is, you know, okay, so some runners of the 7, 8, 9, 8 variety may think that room is the easiest room of the game. However, there is quite a lot of skepticism around that statement.
All right, we got Humbug's using the Ace Combat Zero MSU. I'm not really familiar with that one. And it looks like Hitman's using the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest MSU, so we'll probably be jumping back and forth between the tracks. 2 MSU packs I'm really not that familiar with.
Yeah, same. But I mean, that's kind of like the beauty of MSU packs, I think. It's just that, you know, there's like, ever since I think they kind of were allowed to be on like general restream, right? Like SG, ZSR. I guess ZSR's always a lot of them, but like it's just the popularity, I think, has definitely grown a bit. Like people much more open and willing to basically use MSUs.
And there's a million MSU packs now too.
Oh yeah, right. And like Moogle, right? Like you did, like your season 1 guest, right? Is a very prolific creator of these MSU packs.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I must have mistracked, but Hitman has to have that Moon Pro, right? Or no, he's just gonna save it. He's okay. Yeah. Okay, that's the save and quit. I guess is just to try to save a little bit of time. Didn't care. That book that they got out of Thieves Town was pretty big too, because that's the requirement to get into Desert and Inverted. You can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't get there any other way.
Yeah, of course, right. With the lamp, no more trying to fumble around in the dark. I mean, Humbug and Hitman, both very, very capable, of course, of doing this.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, so as Humbug and Hitman are kind of getting, you know, in this case, kind of funneled into, yeah, I mean, especially in the early game in Inverted Seas, like it's somewhat like it's more often not pretty linear, just because you do get a lot of, you know, limited options, but then ultimately just kind of, you know, okay, I've got these 2 items, let me go up the mountain, so I have 2 more checks or whatever, you know, to be able to do, okay, let me just do this one more thing in order to give me like the next piece of progression, type of thing. Of course, rescuing the old man is.
Did you see that?
I did. Oh, the desert was the green pendant.
Oh, okay. It was so fast.
Yeah. Well, it was right. So actually, I didn't really realize this from the earlier map checks. But like, because we had both 5/6 crystals and both non-green pendants, like everything else in the light world was just going to be either crystal or the green pendant. And I think that was exactly the only thing I was looking for.
Yeah. The old man rescue has to be one of the worst aspects of Inverted.
Oh, hard agree. Yeah, it like, and there is like literally nothing you could do to speed up this rescue. And in fact, actually, I think during the main tournament, like they had inverted keys with starting flute, right? So you had the flute to kind of automatically get up here to the mountain. You didn't be able to do this, and so like honestly, like there's even less incentive to invest.
Yeah,
you know, like a minute or whatever, like into this
it's
rescue,
long.
and then. Right, but then like if you leave your progression here, like you're just very sad, right?
Right. All as Ari mentioned again, is the mountain is just the worst part of inverted. It's like when you get over there and you have you have the mirror and you got to go back and forth and jump down and around and get into Hera is awful.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. Right. No shortcut with the mirror, right? You gotta go all the way around.
Do you think Humbug might be missing the hammer over in Super Bunny Cave, or do you like him just going directly into Aga?
Yeah. I actually like this play, and I guess again I think this is something that maybe of the 7, 8, 9 variety has mentioned before, is that in inverted you can potentially be a bit more aggressive when making a decision to go to Aga, just because you get an extra light world portal, which is actually like very convenient, right? When you
Yeah.
get to light world access, a lot of the light world portals are not as useful, right? Because more often maybe you need the mitts. You can't like get to these places with the flute, right? Because you have to go to the Dark World for. And so like that Hyrule Castle Light World entrance, like you usually get a lot of time back for it. So I think this is actually like pretty good. Even if it's not needed, you can probably gain some more time back.
7898. Are you talking about Matt? I've totally missed what you're talking. What are you saying? 7898. Was that?
Yeah.
Was a reference to Matt?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Hitman's checking this blind. We'll see if he wants to do Super Bunny. If he's just going to go straight into the light world through Aga, it's like it's very unlikely to have the glove or the hammer in Super Bunny. You would think it really does feel like an Aga seed. So, and as Matt, as I guess 7898, as we're calling him now, in chat points out, having that save and quit to GT is really nice.
Yeah. I mean, one of like the greatest benefits, right, of
Wow.
Of inverted is that you.
Okay, dude.
Yeah. Well, that hint tile is actually very very useful. I mean, and not only Force and Brando, but also that is in the vanilla game, Sahasrahla warning you that you cannot harm Aghanim with the Master Sword. You must find another way in order to damage him.
Okay.
So I knew this. So I learned this when I was first playing this, like when I was very young. And so when I read the tile, I was like, oh, okay, so I can't use the Master Sword. So how do I kill him? So I used everything else in my inventory, and I happen to have the bug net. And so the bug net, reflects Aghanim's like energy balls, right? So I was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do in order to defeat Aghanim. So I never knew the sword actually also reflected beams.
So Hitman got a little aggressive on the linos there. You can take one hit from their fireball mouth stuff, fire, whatever that stuff is that comes out of them. I'm assuming it comes out of their mouth, but and they'll back away, so they're kind of easy to dodge, but you still have to be careful. And he got just a little too aggressive and took a second hit on his way to Super Bunny. So we'll see if he just wants to abandon that or stick with that check.
Yeah, right. I mean, as you mentioned, right. So the Lionel's movement patterns are, I would say, like more on the predictive side, right? You can kind of manipulate them, but then also it's also kind of like maybe watching like a train wreck or something, because like sometimes you can't avoid it, and you're just like, well, I guess I have imminent doom coming at me. This is picking up this time.
Yep. Just gonna see what the Turtle Rock Medallion is. It is Bombos.
Okay.
They can't really do anything without Samaria.
We can't get a free magic refill, I guess, for what it's worth, but I assume he's just gonna kill her from Super Bunny. He just maybe just gonna open up.
Yeah. I'm gonna laugh if the hammer is here.
Yeah, considering how many blue balls Humbug has gotten, this is quite the time investment.
That's a lot.
Oh my gosh, I think that cycle was all 3 blue balls, or maybe it was only 2. It just took 3. Right,
bombs. One more check.
Oh, more money. Well, I guess he is set for Zora or Pod. I guess he's set for the rest of this game in terms of financial worries, but It's definitely not the light world access he's looking for.
I'd kind of want to see about sequence breaking, uh, like pod maybe now. I don't know. I understand that having the Aga spot is nice, but I feel like I've invested all this time. Why not make it worse?
Is that a good strategy, or is that a bad? Because I mean, it's like you sometimes feel like you need to make a play, and then
Yeah.
I just worry that like
Yep.
at what point do you go too far?
Yeah, it's true. All right, so nothing from the uncle, and we'll see the front of escape here.
Yeah. One of the benefits now, I guess, of so we're in the I guess technically maybe the mid part, even though it's very early, time wise in the seed, we do have light world access, but we are here on very low health. Maybe that not picking up the heart piece from Dig Game on Humbug's side was actually brilliant, because he's going to be able to death work if he wants to.
Yeah. This is kind of the boring part about inverted now, because it feels like you wait 20 minutes to do all of the light world checks which are just available. You know what I mean? Like give Kakariko and South Shore and all this. And it's like, what? I don't know. I think this is kind of, I like the inverted part where the Moon Pearl is super late and you have to really search for it.
Yeah, it's a super late, or they kind of, right. And so in this one, I would say, as you kind of mentioned, like I would consider it actually to be relatively tame in terms of like early items, right? I mean, of course, the glove and the vanilla Vicky. Speaking of another glove, but in the vanilla Vicky chest, that's probably like the most difficult part. But it's like sometimes you're forced, you have to go get the flippers in order to go to Ice Palace, in order to get to whatever, like the big chest or something, right? It's something that's much more aggressive on 3 hearts, maybe 4 hearts, and this one is just like just kind of sauntered into the light world.
Yeah.
Looks like the Hitman really happy he has that Bombos medallion.
Yeah. Put it to work.
Alright, looks like Humbug though. Picking up, so he's got mitts. Not necessarily, I guess, like hard required. It does of course hard lock King's Tomb, but it's not like we have boots anyway.
Right.
But those mitts are certainly going to be very nice in terms of access.
Right, now we can get to the Dark World through the Skullwoods VOO portal.
Right. Yeah, and if by and I don't know how often this is gonna happen, but I mean, like, if in this case we can find the flute somewhere, now actually the flute and mitts combination is actually pretty decent. So like normally the flute and inverted is not, again, like super useful. I can only travel the Dark World. You probably want to do the Light World most of your time, but because there's so many portals require the mitts, from Dark World to Light World, suddenly becomes now like you can basically kind of use it as a Light World flute, like in, I don't know, half the locations or something.
Yeah, that's true. And Humbug doing something I probably would have even thought to do is pick up that Smith.
This he looks like he has played inverted once or twice.
Yeah,
it is so easy to forget the Smith like in inverted. Yeah.
So now he gets to bring the Smith through a little trip through Kakariko, like a little tour.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so like at least inverted, maybe you force you to do the Smith chain more often than not, but also like you talk about how much mirrorless purple chest or something in regular like is pretty awful. Like I think it's even worse in inverted.
Yeah.
If, I can imagine that.
Flippers. Okay, so we still need lots of big keys. We can't even get to Harry yet. We'll need the Eastern Big, we'll need the Thiestown Big, the Meyer Big, and the Turtle Rock Big, and then of course the GT Big is in GT, so that's convenient.
Yeah, but I mean, as you said, I think you listed off like 6 big keys or something, and and that's not even. And of course, is there like a implicit observational? Oh, there's a nice raw. That's pretty nice. I was gonna say like there could be some implicit bias, of course, that
no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And just took a death to Aga.
That is a very unfortunate do-over.
I think he.
Did he like hurt?
I'm
Did
not
he
sure
hit
why he was
off
down
on
at the bottom of the screen there. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. That's a rough one.
Yeah, and right. I mean, you know, like him climbing Aga Tower on Master Sword isn't really like the worst, especially in this case. He also have bombos if you really need it. But the fact that it is still a good amount of time sink in order to
Yeah,
kinda
it's
get
just
back up
so.
there.
Yeah, it's just a
Exactly. Yeah.
lot of loss of time. I'm just
Now,
not sure what happened there. Like, I'm not sure because Aga was at the top of the screen and he was all the way at the bottom. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, looks like maybe did it saying that like maybe he just spun too slow, like he got hit by the energy ball before he got his spin off.
Mm-hmm.
But that's pretty unfortunate. But you know, maybe this was the gambit that he's gonna get fewer blue balls this time around.
Does it change afterwards if you
I
died?
thought so.
I have no. I know
Yeah.
it does in Ganon, but I don't know if that. I don't know if I've seen anyone die on Aga 1, to be honest. So.
If only we were counting the first time on Humbugs.
Nothing from the Smiths. So we got coming out of Kakariko, we got the bow and we got the flippers. So not bad. I mean, the bow doesn't do much for us other than lets us guarantee our checks through pod logically. Nothing in the library.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The hard part for Hitman is to remain. I mean, I hope he listens to 216. talk about tilt because it's
talk about tilt every single episode.
it's about managing that tilt, right? Like we're only 23 minutes in the seed. You make a mistake like that you just feel terrible about. But you got the rest of the seed to go, so you got to manage that tilt and manage, playing the game. Don't let it make the rest of the seed terrible for you.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And you know, I think for what it's worth, like Hitman, I still haven't watched too much of Hitman, but he does seem like someone who's actually, I guess, has a lot of endurance, I guess, mental and physical. So.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna take a look at South Shore now. There's Samaria.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice item. We've got actually a good amount of stuff for potentially getting through parts of Turtle Rock. Like we do have like some of the front that is potentially open to us. I mean, no fire rod means that we certainly could be locked out very early. But it certainly does kind of like normally when you find the Cane of Samaria like a non-inverted, right, you're just like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna use this for another 20 minutes, but then inverted, yeah, it has some immediate usage. Speaking of tempered swords, always really nice.
Very nice, especially this early. I mean, we've been in Thieves Town, just the front and the front of Skullwoods, right? So we still have all of the dungeons to do, and we're gonna do all the overworld clears that you can because there's so many checks, but then we gotta possibly start dipping dungeons soon.
Right, yeah, and of course, as Humbug, it's kind of already demonstrated, and Hitman's gonna show this shortly, is you saw the post-Aga Light World, right? Suddenly, that tempered sword actually can be pretty, good in this case against like those red guards, right? Hitman's actually kind of bully too.
You know what's better than tempered sword?
Gold sword?
Gold sword. Oh man, already gold sword. Free seed.
Yeah, and we have a bee friend as well. Even more free. I think Mothula is just gonna be cake now.
Yeah. I think Humbug wanted that 50, but the pickle was just in the way. But he could have slashed the pickle because he's got the gold sword.
That is very true. That is true. And I can't speak in this case for like Humbug and Hitman for all these other people, but I feel like the fact that they haven't seen like the gold sword for like so long, they no one ever needs the gold sword right at this level, and like maybe like, oh, I can slash the pickle, like is like not it's not necessarily the first thing that occurs to them.
Right.
We have a fighter's shield, so we can get into swamp. Cool. But at least so Hitman made it to the Light World. he's actually doing, the right thing in this case. Going through the front of escape. Like, and again, you mentioned kind of like keeping your head level, just like, play the game, don't get, too tilted. And especially if you lose, let's say, like a good amount, like a few minutes worth of time, right, in Aga Tower, your decisions could be, maybe, your skips could be maybe a bit more
Yeah.
aggressive.
Yep.
I'm very glad to see that he, took the time to do the front escape.
Right. Those mitts are going to come in handy since we still don't have that hammer. But I'd expect him to skip some maybe one-off checks like the Ice Rod Cave here. Might be worth skipping. We'll see if it's got anything. Yeah, it doesn't. But maybe just kind of go to the more dense locations and
Right. Yeah.
see what you can get there.
Yeah. So, okay. So Humbug, and I think at Hitman at this point, we've got our Light World access. The world is, literally wide open to us. We got probably like 50 green squares initially to kind of explore. And so in this case, we're still looking for a couple of big ticket items. You mentioned the hammer. We don't have that. We would like a mirror. That would be super. We would like
mirror would be huge. Yeah, boots, of course, just because you want the boots.
Nice bush guard to 1.0 Humbug, taking like 2 hearts of damage.
All the items that he's found have been nice, but none of them, without those keys, without the big keys, really lead him to say, "Hey, let's go Eastern or Pod or wherever."
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, so like we, setting Eastern Palace memes aside, right? We do have a bow, but we of course don't have the big key. We have access to desert with the book. We don't have the Desert Palace big key. It is still quite the trek in order to get over to desert as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, going to desert would be terrible because you got to go all the way there, and then it could just be boots locked, and you get like the compass, right?
Right, exactly, yeah. Now Humbug also looks like so he went to Hobo, and then he swam up, and I guess he didn't do like waterfall in Zora, right?
No, he took the portal back up to the Lost Woods, basically, to clear that up. Possibly still an item in Dark Cross. We haven't got the map yet, I don't believe.
The map was in Zelda Cell. So...
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah, so there is an item in Dark Cross. It looks like he's going to be ending his route in the back of Escape, though. Because he checked Sync first, right? Like, if you're gonna walk out, then you would do Sync last.
Yeah, maybe he was, like, hedging in this case to, like... in this case, like just to see like what the Sank item was, but I think you're right though, because he has to do back of Escape and probably Dark Cross as well, like this way. So...
Yeah, this guarantees him that check in Dark Cross and then not having to Death Warp. So it really feels like this is his planned end of route.
A lot of health so far. I mean, we went from 3 hearts in the Dark World to like 7 hearts, 8 hearts probably on Hitman's side by the time he gets through all this.
Right. So I'm trying to think. We've got Saha left, and then we kind of got to start dipping into some dungeons that are unclearable as far as big keys go.
Yeah, I mean, we still can go over to like Waterfall and Sora. We can go turn in the mushroom. I think, as Mike mentioned, more health in Dark Cross. Jeez. Yeah, but I'm trying to think if there's any more access. So of course there is Agina. There is Checkerboard in the Desert Palace area.
Oh right.
Yeah, because we don't need in this case, right? They can already check Key 45. Humbug is going back up the mountain. So he has a
This is
significantly,
surprising.
yeah, he has significantly easier time, I guess, getting through the Lionels. But as you said, this is
All
see,
right.
every mountain trip we take is just like a, it's like a moving coffee break, right?
Right. Now this actually makes a lot of sense because he hasn't checked Super Bunny, right?
True.
Which could have his logical light world access. It doesn't, but you know, checking it is good. But now he can actually check the light world stuff too. So you can check
Yeah.
Paradox
Yeah,
since
that's
he
true.
has the mitts.
Yeah, and he can check the front of Turtle Rock if he wants to.
You did check
As well.
the front to Rock. You also do Hera. No, we can't get to Hera. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No.
Need the
Hair.
hammer.
Yeah, right. No. West Death Mountain access quite yet.
Yeah, there's a lot to do up here.
And then I guess do we get to play everybody's least favorite inverted game of the mountain? Is which drop down do you hop down first to see what you decide to do?
Right. Do you think he dips into Turtle Rock first? Because he doesn't have the mirror, so if he goes to the light world, then he's stuck. It looks like he's at least checking Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Well, right. So he can open this, and then he also can get to the light world this way, right? So yeah.
No, he can't get to the light world because there's hammer. It's
Oh,
hammer
right.
locked.
He's.
So hopefully he doesn't go
No,
into that. That would be really
very
bad.
good point. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Hitman reminding us that there is, of course, Bongo's tablet as well with the book. So it looks like just gonna take another corner of the world in this case for Hitman.
Okay, it's a new check. We haven't seen Agina.
Right.
So if he gets a small key, he keep going.
Yeah, I guess for better or for worse, right? He keeps going. I mean,
Mhm.
that this could be, logical.
Right, yeah.
Alright, so
Keep going.
Yep. So alright, so Hitman also found nothing in Agina, so I'm going to assume that after he checks checkerboard, he is going to dip into.
I think so.
Yeah, check the desert, like right, exactly. You mentioned so desert's like it's like the valley, I guess, of Death Mountain, right? As in, every single time you go to a mountain, it's almost another time investment. If you get no time to go to desert, it's also another time investment.
Right,
So.
yeah. All right, locked out. I feel bad. I don't know why, but I feel bad for Yoshi when he dies compared to anyone else.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
Because of the
It looks
sprite.
it looks very sad.
It's just sad, yeah.
Yeah, Hitman is not going into desert. So he scouted the ledge, which was one of our couple green rupee, and he decides to I guess go like the rest of Sunflower.
I don't know if I agree with that because you're all the way over here.
Yeah,
You're never
very,
coming.
very interesting.
Yeah, because to get back here, he's walking, but he could have just taken the Aga portal to get back here and save and quit out of desert. So that's a little surprising he didn't jump in. Like I thought that was the reason why he was coming over here.
Yeah, same. I mean, well, yeah, I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say though, yeah, like maybe though, again, like the flute is still out there, right? We know that,
Yeah.
fire, I guess for what it's worth, is a crystal. It's not like we hard require that flute, but, Exorin could be a thing that we pick up, and then he can get back to desert pretty easily.
Yeah.
But so he does have outs. It's just like, yeah, it's probably better for him. It really could have been more efficient.
Yeah. Ooh, a big key to Ice Palace. Okay. Gosh.
Yeah, so remember when you were listing off like 6 stick keys that we need?
Right.
And then there were like the 3 of them that we actually don't need. Well, you know that it's gonna be a rule that all of them are just gonna appear before the ones we need, right?
Of course. But I mean, Ice Palace is on the table with that Bombos medallion.
That's true. Yeah, alright, so speaking of another, speaking of, we would like the mirror again sooner rather than later. So Humbug now is on red mail. It's like, death warping has become even more difficult.
Yeah. So Hitman is not altering his game plan. He's just going to be thorough.
Yeah, seems like it. There's honestly like probably nothing really wrong, with that. And again, also, maybe we're also kind of used to a lot of, especially with like League and like main tournament, for 1v1 races, like if the goal is to just beat your opponent, yeah, maybe you're going to make different decisions. But in this case, it is, and it's a group race, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong with him just playing his game.
Right. Which team is Humbug on?
The two Infinity and Pakaggers.
Oh, he's in my division.
Right. Okay, sounds good. He's with
Relkin and Will WC. Yeah.
Will WC. That's right.
Guess which week we're playing him?
Is it Invrosia?
It's Invrosia.
Oh, is it really? Well, I'm expecting now more trash talk from you.
Yeah.
Fear.
I'm not. I'm not playing this week, so that's kind of why I missed out. But
okay.
I'll definitely. This is secretly just a scouting.
This is scouting. Exactly. This is scouting.
Yeah. I'm guessing if Humbug's playing, he'll probably be playing against Vermont since they have similar time zones.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. It's a good point. Yeah, Vermont's also in the EU, and Humbug, of course, is there as well. Yeah, I was gonna say, so Humbug is now gonna explore, I guess, like the rest of the northeast light world.
Yeah,
he
do
went
some
through
other
my
checks.
favorite rock, yep, and checked the mushroom. Was the very first check we got in the game, which is also nothing. Looks like it's gonna be Zora into a waterfall and Zora. I mean, and again, like we would like them here. This would be a great time to check Catfish if we had access, but well, maybe the fish won't have anything important.
Yeah. And it looks like Hitman is on the team, the Joy of Rando in the Open League.
Okay.
No, they're playing the Joy. He's an Aga backup dancer, which makes the Aga death even worse.
Sad.
That's like
so
salt in the wound there.
Well, I guess this just means he's got more backup practice to do. Oh, he's okay. So Humbug actually didn't give us a check earlier.
No, they just turned the mushroom and it was a piece of heart from Humbug. Which is surprising since it was the first item that we got in the entire game. Huh? You always feel like those early yeah,
it looks very suspicious, right?
Totally.
Well, speaking of, like, we seem to be getting a lot of heart pieces, or maybe again, it might just be observational bias, could be front loaded with heart pieces, or every time we see one, it's like, oh, there's one.
Very expensive set of bombs that we can't even use. All right, so Humbug, what do you do now? Where do you go? Clear Mouse, where do you go from here?
Apparently we're gonna go right back
Saha?
to the portal. Yes. I mean, I am a fan of Eastern Palace Fear. So I certainly would not be opposed if Humbug goes there.
So what do you think of the team named Eastern Skippers?
Okay, so I wasn't gonna bring this up in Discord, but since we now mention it, I'll bring it up live on stream. Fear, if you ask Zelda to be on podcast season 3, I will have words.
Eastern. I can't believe Shady agreed to that name.
No, Shady was actually apparently the first one on their team to actually advocate for skipping Eastern. That is what I learned in the entire game.
Wow, that's surprising.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so honestly though, this is gonna be another one of those blame the fact that there was no more pilot spoiler in this season. Because I believe that was one of the motivating factors for the team name change.
Sure, that makes sense. So is Humbug gonna go in the desert here? He is, right?
I definitely would have assumed that he is. I mean, so like this is also one of his more dense locations. Like, and he also doesn't have, I guess, like as much left as Hitman did. So I think that like I don't think he wants to come back here unless he like absolutely needs to.
With it being a pendant as well, I think it's kind of, I guess, maybe more incentivized to come here than, say, Eastern or Pod. I mean, we have access to all of Pod except for Helma. We have access to everything in Eastern except for the big chest. And, of course, the Pod big chest as well. Pod being a pendant, again, makes me want to think maybe do that over some of these other checks. But
Yeah, and maybe also part of this case is I don't know if it's slightly less appealing. If you're gonna again, if you're gonna try and hold out for that mirror, right? You can do a lot of
Yeah.
comboing. But again, like it's like how much longer do you kind of wait, right? Because if the mirror is just kind of sitting in over that area, then you're gonna be waiting an awfully long time.
Mm-hmm. I hope Mike's right. He says he's gonna laugh when Hammer is on Pyramid,
That would be
and
a
my
really
play to
mean
current
location.
jump would have paid off. That would have been great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess right. We're also missing a hook shot too, right? So
Yeah, I mean we're still missing a lot of stuff. We are 41 minutes in with no Hammer,
yeah,
no
and
hook shot, no fire rod.
yeah, that's actually a good point. Because like, so we did get some nice stuff, I guess, like earlier on, like nice stuff, but not progression, right? Got a bow, Samaria, but it's like, like we don't have a big key we can use. We got nothing to kind of point us into like a general direction. So
Right, the two big keys we have are Hera and Ice Palace. Oh boy. So we're not boots locked. We have the small key in that first chest here, so we get access to the right side. And nothing in desert.
Oh, all right. Well, Hitman made a good decision in this case. If because I mean, it's not like Hitman's not Humbug's not gonna get this time back. But certainly, like at least earlier on, maybe by the chances are that Hitman, when he does go back to desert, he'll have better stuff, right? Boots, hook shot, anything that'll give him some more movement.
All right, so Humbug is gonna go over to do pod, or maybe this Ice Palace. Nielsen Alex says, I mean, Hammer will be in Ice Palace big. That would be terrible.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah, there's some pretty awful locations.
Oh, he is choosing ice.
We're dipping in.
All right.
All right, let's see in this case, I do like Alex's instincts when it comes to rando. So let's see in this case if he's correct.
Except for when he's in Spec Rock.
His instincts was to give us countless hours of entertainment. It was amazing. Yeah. Like I think that's probably one of the like most well-known gifts for Spec Rock.
All right, first check into Ice Palace. Let's kill these green penguins. Get a key. That's actually nice because this makes this makes it so you can icebreaker and continue on.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where I think like. Okay, like diving Ice Palace right without the hammer is always a not feels great mode, but I think like I think you mentioned like finding that key in the very first chest is actually somewhat maybe like an underrated reaction, right? Because it's like that small key makes it so much nicer for you to be able to throw. Because otherwise, especially without a mirror, right? It's not like you have to go kill yourself versus mirror out and try. Not that either of those options are very appealing, but you don't have to do that.
Saying that you have to kill yourself as opposed to death warp sounds so much darker.
Sorry. You're right. I should, you're right. This is so early in the morning. It's like sunlight. Is he inverted? Claire Mouse commentary. Yeah.
I mean, they're the same thing. It just sounds so much darker. All right, Freezors. Half magic. It's nice to have, but I mean, you would have got here without the hammer. Is it here? Nope.
It is not. Okay, so where else can we get to? I mean, I'm just gonna watch Humbug as well as he traverses the Ice Palace, but I assume we can get to Ice Tea from here.
Yeah. Yep. Hitman up on the mountain now as well. Just bombs.
Yeah, and so he's gonna get locked out very shortly as well. But I think so we saw Humbug do Spiral Cave in the mountain, but of course getting to all the other locations is again playing slots and another pretty big time investment. So certainly I very understandable he only wants to drop down once. Maybe Hitman will do Mimic Cave, for example.
Well, Claire Mouse, it's early. How is he going to do Mimic Cave?
Oh, it is early. Oh, I see. This is one of those things where, man, you really, because you think at 46 minutes in you would have the hammer. Of course you don't. Yeah.
No. Check the pyramid. Check the pyramid. Oh, he's not checking the pyramid.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna do pod.
It's gonna be sad to find that hammer on the pyramid there.
Yeah.
So, how have you enjoyed the first week of the league as we wrap up week 1 this weekend?
I know. I mean, I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I think. I mean, anytime when there is co-op going on, I think it's actually just very interesting. Like, I guess I'm maybe more slightly biased in that I would actually really like to hear the runner's audio, because sometimes you just don't get that, like the some of the reactions, some of the banter that you go on, some of the hecticness, it's like, oh my gosh, we just found the fire rod, we're at one, we need the ice rod for go mode, like, oh, do I do left side swamp, like, do I do the backup pod, like, I want to hear this kind of stuff, right? Or it's like, wait, did you go to deck? It's just very, I think it's very fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then also it's also kind of like another, and one of the, I think, great things about co-op is it's a totally new dynamic, right? Because in especially main tournament, basically in most of the tournaments, always a 1v1 race, right? And how well you work together as a team actually, I think, has a very, very significant impact on how well you do in the race, right? Like I think you can have two very, very strong runners be on the same like co-op team, and then I think, depending on how well they communicate, right, what their styles are, I think they actually potentially, could, be at maybe more of a disadvantage for two teams, for two members who may not always be as good, but they're very effective at communicating.
Yeah.
And like, being able to split up the routes and stuff like that. So.
For sure. We get a required big key in the Thievestown big key in pod.
Sometimes communication, no communication is better than miscommunication. I'm just saying.
It's true. I just love playing co-op. Like the match that I had this past Wednesday, we last locationed pretty much everything, and I'm just like being me. I'm like, Gamma, how are we gonna do this? And he's like, just relax, just play your game, we'll be fine.
Yeah,
kept me calm.
So so that's also, I think, another part of like the underrated co-op is that, because you get to talk to somebody else, right? You get to, complain, you get to, cheer the other person up, right? It's just all about, being a pair. Just another big key.
Gosh. Skullwood's next. Give us the Skullwood's big key.
Yeah, that one looked less required, but I guess you never know.
Right. Are we gonna make it to an hour without the hammer?
Oh, what about the mirror? What do you think?
Yeah, mirror's gonna be super late. Yo, my brother's in chat. What's up, dude? He says he doesn't know what's going on, but he really likes the Batman skin. Yeah, the sprite is awesome.
Is he your actual brother?
It's my actual brother, yeah.
Wow. Well, hello, Fear's brother. That's awesome. Do you play Rando at all?
He doesn't, but he's been listening to the podcast.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, yeah, like Fear is one of the best people in North as a podcast host, so. Oh, okay, so we got a new check on Hitman's side. This could be a hammer.
This could be the hammer. It's the fire rod. That's a big one.
That is a huge find for Hitman, considering how. Well,
back to Turok. Go back to Turok.
Yeah. We got Skull Woods as well, right? Actual Skull Woods. That's a pendant, of course.
That's a pendant, yeah.
But I think Ari mentioned or observed in chat like very early when we were kind of exploring at Skull Woods, was that I think all three items were in the back. So.
Oh, so it's a little bit spicier, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Pod's just giving us those keys. The Thievestown big key might take Humbug away from Catfish.
Yeah, right. That's actually a good point. Right. So I was gonna say, so like Catfish does not seem to be in a very good prospect for Humbug, but he still does have options. Like if he walks out of pod, for example, and he does like the pyramid Catfish loop, then he can do it. But oh man, he's looking like I think yeah, Thieves Town, the draw to Thieves Town, I think is gonna be too much.
Right. Yeah. I'm really excited for this pyramid check. Please be something big. This would be huge for Hitman.
Hammer?
It's the hammer! Oh my gosh! It is the hammer. What did I say? What did I say? I said after you do when in Hitman's spot, you current jump because you're feeling bad. He would have gotten the hammer.
You know, fear.
The fire
okay.
rod.
Shells, just table cam up next week for Invrosia. Forget all your plans. I think you should be in for next week, okay?
I mean, it would have been such a bad play, but it would have worked out so well. That is
so good.
Unbelievable. Oh wow!
Suddenly, you probably don't feel as bad dying to Aga, right, and climbing that tower twice. This should be a huge boost.
So, all right, so he's going to be able to single dip Ice Palace, and
oh man,
this changed everything. This changed everything.
Yeah. And
I mean, he does need to go to pod, but if Thieves Town doesn't have anything, Thieves Town Big could be maybe his go mode.
Well, right, but also though, like, so we haven't seen the map yet, so Humbug still potentially, could get all the items out of this place, but he's here without the hammer, and well, there's still that Thieves Town big chest.
Wow, fire rod, hammer, unbelievable.
Yeah, Hitman, and Hitman's gonna be able to find half magic, right? That we saw Humbug pick up here too. So I mean, not that his Cold Stare fight was gonna be any question having Gold Sword, but it's just like I think he's on easy mode. I think at this point, like in terms of like boss battle execution.
Yeah.
All right, so we did find Ether. I think there's one more item back here. We found three in the front.
Ether in the back? I missed that.
Yeah. Ether was in Thieves Town Attic.
So I'm doing some Seed Blade. I remember seeing a medallion somewhere else, but I could be wrong. We see Quake. Oh yeah,
Quake,
okay.
Yeah, but we couldn't get it at the time. So
right. Clear Mouse. The hammer was on the pyramid.
I know.
I can't believe this.
I know. Oh, what a terrible.
It's like the swing that Hitman really needed.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
right, yeah.
Is there still an item in the big chest? Did we get
Wait, we have not seen the map yet.
Okay.
So it's a 50-50 at this point. Yeah, so Humbug certainly is going to hope that in this case it's an item on blind, or whatever items in Thieves Town is just not going to hurt him.
Right. Oh, Ari points out this is Invrosia, so the item is guaranteed on the boss.
Good point. Thanks, Ari. I see it's okay. Yes, this is it's a good thing to remember. What was it? Oh, it was Ambrosia in the main tournament, not Invrosia. But also, I think I also remember a file name that Ari had was item on boss. It's a very, very great reminder in this case.
Yeah. All right, so what are we looking for? We're now looking for the hook shot in the mirror that gives us access to Swamp Palace. And then we need big keys, right?
Yeah, we still so we did find Thieves Town big key, which was of course required, but I think we haven't found any other required big keys.
Where's Humbug going? He's picking up the purple chest. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it. Right. Looks like he did pick up powder.
Yeah, powder was, I want to say, Paradox.
Okay. Yeah. Hitman has it too, so it certainly wasn't probably anything recent. Yeah, but again, it's like, well, so mirror of course could make things a little bit nicer in terms of just routing, but again, Humbug doesn't have the hammer, so it's not, can't do hammer pegs. A lot more stuff that's going to be limited to. Although I guess I'm trying to think. So he chased the thieves on Big Key. You know, finished up and got his first crystal, which is great. Anything like where is his?
I mean, he's got
next...
Eastern and Saha still open. That's a lot of checks. There's the boots. That's
Oh
really
my
bad
gosh!
really bad for
Hitman
Humbug.
is just capitalizing on the
Oh, a
pyramid
big
play.
key
Oh,
from
is the
Sick Kid.
2? Oh, Meyer. That's...
Wow. I mean, Hitman's doesn't probably. Again, we don't have no. There's 8 or so people in the race, so it's hard to tell where everyone else is. But just the 2 on the restream, you know, Hitman was in trouble after that Aga death, but he remained calm and steady and just played his game and didn't really alter anything. And things have really worked out now in his favor with the hammer and the fire rod get.
Yeah.
And now he's got the boots and he gets to go fast, and this is like totally swung things. So
yeah, right. And so when Hitman goes and does Thieves Town, right? I mean,
well, he doesn't have the big key yet.
Oh, right. Well, when he goes and does it, right? Like
it'll be
he's
faster.
Gonna be able to,
yep.
Yeah, he's just gonna dash right through.
So he's gonna be able to check hammer pegs, which we haven't seen. I'd honestly, I guess he doesn't have the Turtle Rock big. I think that's the only thing, because with the I was thinking Turtle Rock, but that's only 2 on the right, the big chest, the big key chest, and that's it.
Yeah, I think so. Because we can't get.
But he does have access to Hera. I think that might be worth it. I mean, the only thing out of Pendant Pod to get is the Thieves Town big, which doesn't really get him anything. So if he puts off Pod till the end, he can maybe that'll be his go mode.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, right, we haven't seen Meyer Medallion entry yet, so we don't actually know if Ether is potentially required. But I think other than that, I think you're right. Like, Thieves Town basically can be go mode, and like we don't need anything else.
Right.
Alright, Humbug has decided in this case that he has resigned himself to coming over here. I think he has put us off probably for long enough. Now, I mean, like, there are a lot of good things that Humbug still get. We're still missing a lot of stuff, but I think you mentioned this though, right? Like, the fact that Hitman has the Fire Rod from Catfish, has the hammer from Pyramid, has the boots from Cold Stare that he was able to get with the hammer and the Fire Rod. Like, it's certainly, Humbug's certainly going to be, like, Hitman's is slowly kind of like, quickly, kind of catching up to Humbug.
Right. Now, here's the big thing is, if Humbug gets the hammer first,
oh, you think he might
fire
not
rod might, yeah, the fire rod might be kind of isolated. So I kind of hope he routes it from Sank to get the fire rod, because the fire rod unlocks stuff, but I feel like it still gets him to the pyramid. Whereas if he does the pyramid first, I don't know how likely he is to do.
That's actually a really good point. You know, I guess for what it's worth, like, maybe, you know, we saw Hitman go from north to south, right? Catfish into pyramid, like, and the fact that we do have flippers, you know, is, you know, does seem a bit more appealing than like going from the north versus you know, starting at your house and kind of swimming all the way south and then walking all the way back up. I don't know. I guess I haven't timed this, so.
All right, so Hitman gonna do some boots checks.
All right, yeah. Humbug was here earlier. He was able to get Graveyard Ledge, but again, no boots, so he couldn't get King's Tomb. So this is gonna be pretty. This is gonna be, I guess, actually pretty good for Hitman.
Hitman already did all this stuff too, so he's just coming here just for the boots checks. Yeah.
Nothing so far in Eastern. So far.
There's the hook shot.
Oh my gosh! This is. I mean, this is really great for Hitman. Like, you know, he is. I mean, like the chain of progression really just seemed to open up, of course, with the Fire Rod and the hammer. Like, most of the hammer, you know, just because the Fire Rod is really nice. Like, we do need it, but it's not like we didn't have Bobos in order to get to Ice Palace, right? But yeah, Hitman is definitely built up quite the momentum for himself. and has just really capitalized on, you know, finding tons of progression, kind of left and right. Yeah, and Humbug is right now, of course, you know, we know he needs to go to, well, at the very least, Pyramid, and hopefully he doesn't just isolate Catfish.
Yeah. And then he needs to go back to Ice Palace to finish that off, which is pretty likely since there's a couple items in a crystal. Nothing in Hookshot Cave. We do have access to Hera now. We do have access to Mimic Cave.
Yeah, that's right. We can actually get the inside of. We can actually get the chest of Mimic Cave. Humbug looks like he did start from his house. He is going to swim up, so this is certainly going to be this is presumably a pyramid play.
I think his last location, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you're right, and I think the question that you asked is, you know, is Catfish going to be another last location?
Yeah.
Or, you know, is he going to actually get both of them in one swoop?
He might continue on because as much as the hammer does, it's still like not a ton. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. I would be. I mean, like it seems like the hammer does open up a lot.
So Hitman actually didn't go into Turtle Rock, so hopefully he finds the mirror because he can't get back to the front quickly because he did it. You know, he did open up the two right checks. Oh man, there's the hammer for Humbug.
Humbug. So
no save and quit. No save and quit. Okay, he's
Humbug,
continuing.
Keep walking. Good job, Humbug. Oh, all right. Okay, all right. So next potential disaster averted on Humbug's side. He is gonna go hit his fire rod, and then hopefully in this case he's gonna go basically just follow what Hitman did. Go dive into Ice Palace, get his boots. I'm trying to actually think if there's another better location for him, like with the hammer. Probably not. I mean, he might go to Skull Woods.
The mountain too. He could come up here.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, third time's a charm for the hair pot there.
All right, so Humbug, he is about to be very relieved in that. Oh, thank goodness I made the right decision to keep going.
I mean, I don't know how relieved he's gonna feel right now.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, he would feel even worse if, like, you came back here 20 minutes later, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, getting a little bit bullied by the Kadongos in Hera. Okay, all right, Humbug armed with everything now.
I think he's going ice. This is ice.
Okay, this is really good for Humbug then.
And then he's got to go to King's Tomb to get the hook shot.
Yeah.
I mean, not right away, but sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how convenient this is because you still have to walk out of Skullwoods, but like, would you just do this, you know, like while you're kind of like in the North Dark World area?
I'd pretend that Skullwoods doesn't exist, honestly.
Oh.
I'm not sure if there's an item. I guess there is because he's going back in. I don't think it's a bad play just because Hera is so bad to get back to in this mode.
Oh yeah. And another thing, you're right in that, like, for inverted seas, like, you definitely see people doing, you know, stuff in Hera, right? Like, more often. Maybe people, I'm not sure if people are maybe like less hesitant about, you know, doing like Hera pot and abandoning the item in the big chest potentially. But it's definitely like one of those, like, there's no good fast way to get back here. I'm just going to do everything I can. Now, I guess, like, if you were in Hitman's position, like, would you also... Well, we have no mirror, so we can't really get out, but I guess, like, would you maybe want to sequence break Spike Cave as well? Like, without an invincibility source?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah.
What stinks about this is unless this is the mirror, he's got to walk out. You're not death warping out of here.
Right. I was thinking he wants to save him. Oh, it's a sand card too. That's
Yeah.
that's even. At least he didn't have that much health to refill. But it's like
Yeah.
imagine you were trying to death warp, right? And then you got that,
Yep.
and you're just so sad.
I guess he's gonna go back to Mimic Cave then. I mean, strangely, we don't have a lot available.
Yeah, or yeah, I guess you're right. And I think you mentioned right. Unless Mimic Cave has the mirror, we're not. We're making a separate trip in order to get the rest of Turtle Rock.
Yeah. All right, boots for Humbug now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be pretty disappointed in that sequence of events, you know.
Mm-hmm. He pretty much I think he mentioned this is last location, right? So
Yeah.
for Humbug, last location twice.
We don't have access to Mire yet. We still can't get in the swamp.
Yeah,
Pod
no
is
mirror,
available now, except we don't have the big key, so never mind. What else? What else do we have? This looks like Pod for Hitman.
Yeah, and
I think either the front of Turtle Rock or back of Skull Woods. I think those are the two things that we have left.
Yeah, right. Because Humbug ended up doing a lot more. Like Humbug and Hitman also did a lot of overworld. Like Humbug did, he did Smith Chain. Hitman showed us the rest of the tablets. I guess we have Spike Cave too.
Yeah, but that's not like you said. It's not.
Oh right,
Logic
yeah, it's not
yet.
right. It's not logic. Yeah.
That we have seen the front of Desert. So I'm trying to think. I think we've seen. I do think we have the right side of Turtle Rock, which Humbug might be doing right now. No, never mind. He's not.
Humbug.
And
yeah.
both of them skipping out on it, and then the back of Skull Woods. I think those are the two, as far as what we've seen. Obviously, you know, Hitman hasn't got his Thieves Town big yet. He'll get that here soon. It's looking like the Fire Rod Lock side.
Yeah, it does look like it has to have something.
The Fire Rod locked something. Probably the mirror.
That would certainly make things like it would certainly open up a ton more stuff for us.
Right.
Yeah. So I think you're probably correct in that like you typically find things that like the next piece of progression you find is going to open up like the most amount of stuff, right? That's why I guess maybe in part that's why the ice rod is so difficult to find, right? Because it doesn't open up anything.
Right. Right.
Ooh, Humbug actually just going. Oh, he has no hook shot. Right, hook shot is a Kingston. I was like,
right.
He wants to take the long way. Oh,
yeah, he has to take the long way. Yeah. Once we get the access to Mire, though, that opens up. Of course, we've got the big key for both runners. We've got Samaria. That will also open up Pyramid Fairy. So maybe the flute to get there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right. It could be the flute. It could be the. It could be the.
It's gonna be one of those two. It's gonna be the flute or the mirror that we're gonna find next.
Yeah.
The worst spot though right now, I think, is the Turtle Rock. If it's in the front of Turtle Rock, because both of the runners skipped it.
Yeah, right. And Humbug, I don't know if it was intentional or not, because I'm sure he had his eyes set on Hera in this particular case.
I mean, both of them. I think I understand the reasoning.
Right. Yeah.
You already dipped in. You kind of forget that. Oh wait, I didn't do the two Fire Rod Lock side. So Humbug's going to do Mimic Cave as well.
I'm just trying to remember in this case, Humbug. So Humbug must have hammered down first, right, in order to get over there into the Dark Maze, because he saved and quit out of Pod Rupee basement.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. He went backwards.
Thanks, Ari. Yeah. Because I'm like, there's no way that Humbug would just leave 2 items here in Dark Maze. Ah, yes, that would explain the fire shield in this case. Alright, yeah, so Humbug, it looks like he's actually he's... I feel so bad for Humbug, because it's like the first half of the seed, or the first quarter, or whatever, it was like, it was really good for Humbug, right? He's
Right.
doing all these good things, and
He's
now...
setting up the death
Oh
warp
my
that
god.
we know is not going to work out in his favor. Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure his reaction was, oh my gosh, there's the hammer, oh my gosh, there's the fire rod, oh my gosh, there's Say cards. Poor Humbug. Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, alright, so no more Mimic Cave today. We'll just get that on our next trip over.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine because it's nothing there. But yeah, that is super frustrating. It's funny for us.
Yeah, sorry, we're not laughing at you, Humbug. We're laughing with you. I'm sure you're laughing somewhere on the inside.
Alright, so he's gonna do. Let's see, he's gonna start off with hammer pegs, and then maybe go to Skullwoods. I'm not sure what his routing is. This might be go to Light World and do the bonk checks, the boot checks. I'm pretty sure it was just the map in the big chest of Thieves Town, right?
Yeah, because as a kind reminder, there is an item on the boss.
Right.
Invrosia, so
right.
No worries in this case about leaving that thing behind.
Oh, I thought Humbug already checked Magic Bat, but doing it now. Just waiting on our next piece of progression, which we think has to be Fire Rod locked.
Yeah, right. I think actually Humbug, I mean, he didn't have anything I think to do Magic Bat with. Like he didn't have hammer or. Like,
right. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes
sense.
Alright,
so yeah, I was also say Humbug also redeemed himself by doing the Light World Fence Dash. Because he had an unfortunate accident with the Dark World Fence Dash. Alright, so this is gonna be good for Humbug. I mean, he might. I don't know if he'll be a little miffed or not by finding the hookshot now, and then, it's like, oh, I could have gone the short way up to Hera, but.
Yeah, I think it'll just. This is fine. I don't even know. I think the way he went is probably the faster way to get to Hera. All right, so we've got options. Where's Hitman going? Is he going straight up to Skull Woods? And it looks like Humbug. We might actually get the information right away if Hitman might go Skull Woods and Humbug might go Turtle Rock. Oh, except Hitman's going to pick up the purple chest instead. Okay.
Oh, right, yeah, because Hitman didn't do the Smith early, like when he first got to Light World in Kakariko, so I think this is now him trying to make up some time. Or, I mean, he probably just wanted to delay it.
All right, Humbug didn't have the hookshot when he came up here, so checking Hookshot Cave makes a lot of sense. Let's see if he wants to continue on into Turtle Rock, and I think he will. Hitman's gonna have to enter the light world here.
All right. Okay. So we finally got after Hitman and Humbug have both kind of repeated each other's steps. We're finally getting to some new checks.
New information.
Yeah. Either this is one of like 4 locations at this point, right? That progression can be in. So.
Right. There might be a key here. There might not.
Mm-hmm.
Is Turtle Rock and Invert is different.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And right. But I mean, we can get a little bit further into Turtle Rock. Hopefully. Without the mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not often you get to see Turtle Rock doing like front to back in Inverted, right? But I mean, sometimes you know what happens.
Oh, there's Spike Cave and the mirror. Okay.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh, wow. All right.
Oh, like, man.
Oh, man. Humbug probably saw the Cane of Verda. He's like, I have to go back to Spike Cave now.
Yeah. All right, so if you're Humbug, are you even more pissed about that? Because you came here, you could have had that before you went into Hera.
Yeah.
Oh man, Hitman's gonna go to Eastern, so this is actually gonna give Humbug time back now. So
yeah, see, Alex, I know I knew your random instincts were good.
Also, shout outs to Nobly for the follow. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not dropping any frames, so it's not on my end. How's the race? Clear Mouse, how's the race?
Well, so I will qualify my opinion of the race based on timestamps. Were you talking about early game? Would you talk about mid game, or would you like to talk about?
So we had a logical Aga seed, but if you just kern jumped, you could have got the fire rod from Catfish and the hammer from the pyramid, and our boots were on Cold Stare, and Humbug double dip to Ice Palace. There's our big key to Eastern. Okay, so that's another one that we can do. And again, Nobly, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Enjoy your Space Monkey emotes. Another big key, and it's vanilla. Well, for a vanilla dungeon, at least.
Yeah,
so,
that's
Out of a vanilla location, but the vanilla dungeon key.
Yeah, but I mean, this is part of the whimsy of Inverted, right? Is that sometimes you actually cannot, like do Turtle Rock from front to back.
So I Hitman being as thorough as he has now sort of given back that lead to Humbug here. It's unfortunate that both of them skipped the mirror when they were right there. But with Humbug having already done Eastern, it's more incentivized to come up here. And like I said, the back of Skullwoods doesn't exist.
I mean, I haven't seen any progression there, have you? I mean, the mirror clearly is here in front of Turtle Rock, so...
The mirror was the right side of the front of Turtle Rock, the fire rod lock side. So we can do Swamp now, we can do Eastern, and we can do Turtle Rock. So actually we can do, we're in go mode, right?
Oh, wait, was Mirror go mode?
Mirror was go mode.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't think I realized that. But yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we can get into Mire. We just finishing up Turtle Rock now. We can do Swamp and Eastern, and yeah, everything else.
Well, Eastern Palace big key, and Eastern Palace big and Turtle Rock big were technically our go mode, but the mirror locked both of them.
Yeah,
so.
right, yeah.
They just happen to be together on Laser Bridge, so.
Looks like Hitman is going to go chase the back of Skull Woods, but of course, I believe that we've already established there is nothing back here other than that crystal.
Flippers were in Keck somewhere, not on Battle Vendor. I think they're
on
the well.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Hitman, it's down to the 2 fire rod locked locations as we mentioned earlier. with it either being Skullwoods or Turtle Rock, and just Hitman's just choosing the wrong choice.
Right. Oh wait, Skull was man. I definitely did not see the. I for some reason thought this was a crystal. Never mind. Yeah. This is definitely not somewhere that Hitman unfortunately wants to be.
And with all 3 medallions, don't even have to worry about what Meyer is. And you just get a go mode it. So you get a go mode Meyer, get a go mode Swamp. I've already been in Eastern, so don't get a go mode that, but just get a fly through, and then we'll just get that GT big in GT.
Yeah, and actually kind of nice things about Invrosia, like dungeon go mode, especially for like Meyer, right? Is yeah, you don't have to go find the big key, right? It's almost just like a key sanity go mode. It's like okay, or a spoiler key mode. You just go, right? You don't have to do anything anyway. Just go straight to the back. Speaking of not having the mirror, yeah, at least it's not going to be too bad because I think Hitman could just save and quit out of this place.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's again though, it's it's just going to be another one of those longer checks. Oh, did Hitman get the item? Oh, he doesn't have Skullwood's big key. Yeah, never mind.
Okay.
So yeah.
This might be the Desert Palace dip now for him. So
oh,
yeah, it's just unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah. Things started, turn around when he got the hammer when he did, but
yeah, and Hitman was doing so great in the mid to late game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he found hammer on Pyramid. He found fire on Catfish. Immediately went over to Ice Palace, got his boots. Went to King's Tomb to go get his hook shot. And like things were just looking, so good, and it just seems like the turn.
It was the one mistake. It was literally one mistake. Yep.
The turns in order to go to decide to do what Eastern pendant, Skullwood's pendant, and then.
I mean, if he just goes into Turtle Rock when he's up there after when he has the fire rod, he's in go mode like 20 minutes ago almost. It feels like because you don't have to do the basement of Hera. Yeah, things definitely changed from there, but that's rando, right? That's the unfortunate nature of rando. You make one mistake or one skip, or you forget to check one item, and things just don't go your way anymore. It turns out Humbug is pretty good at the game too, so I like the spin speed off of the ladder there. That was nice.
That is super, super nice. Especially in a post-Aga light world, right? You have all those things chasing after you. Now, I guess I assume if you're in like Humbug's position, like you may not like be feeling great about your positions. I guess I haven't seen the race room yet or anything like that, but like after basically last locating that hammer, and fire rod, doesn't
and mirror,
and mirror. That's
because he skipped it. Yeah, he skipped it. Had to come back. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but I mean, Hitman. I think his is. It's almost like it's like a compliment, I guess, of kind of like how. Humbug was feeling, right? Because Humbug, I'm sure, was feeling great in the early game, did a lot of good things, and then again, like mid game, he last paid a bunch of stuff, but now I think he, Humbug got skill mode pretty quickly, and now he's just kind of flying through the rest of the dungeon. Right? Hitman, had some unfortunate circumstances in Aga Tower, ended up having to do that place twice, but then he found the hammer and the fire rod early. led to a bunch of good stuff. But I think now, as he's kind of chasing more stuff and now getting his mirror, maybe he's not, feeling. Maybe he's a little bit more worried.
Yeah. Incoherent, making a good point. Sometimes it's better to last location earlier than later in the seed. I think the only problem really was the fact that he didn't dip into Turtle Rock when he was up here with the fire rod. That was his only. But then maybe, I don't know, maybe it worked out because he wouldn't be searching for the hook shot. There's that possibility.
Yeah, that is true.
So I could see someone dipping into Turtle Rock, getting the mirror, and then doing all the mirror checks, and kind of last locationing the hook shot, which could lead you into swamp or clear mire. You know what I mean? And you're doing more checks there. So
right. And who wants to go into hookless?
Right.
Hookless swamp? Yeah. I mean, I can also like understand if they, like if you're weighing against basically only potentially doing the front half of Turtle Rock, like that you've already been inside once, right? So you may not be able to finish it versus, you have the crystal on the table, right? With the big key and everything. So I guess really understand.
Really nice Argus fight there from Humbug.
Yeah, I think just like that. We're 6 crystals in, and then Humbug just needs to run over to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, and he's already been in there, so
right. Yeah.
And even if he hadn't, I guess it doesn't really matter because he's got the big key, so just go.
All right, so Fear, would you go check for silvers in the big chest?
Of course. No, silvers are pro. I mean, there's still a lot of checks out there. Like we just skipped all the swamps, skipped all the mire.
Yeah, and then we have
all of
GT. Right, we have all of GT to go search for them.
So, any big plans for you on this Saturday?
No. In fact, this race was the thing that got me to the earlier start than maybe it was originally intended. But I think you mentioned earlier there's a lot of good spectator stuff to be watching. I'm not too big of a sports fan, but I do believe that there's a lot of rando going on. So.
There's college football, of course. My Seattle Mariners are playing and have a chance to win their series today. I'll be watching that. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern. But then we do have, let's see, we got Missing Playoffs versus JKLOL on Speed Gaming at 3:10. So that's going to be good. That's Sabo and GFE versus Leray and Kayston. Oh man. Okay, so Hitman's doing Left Side Swamp. He didn't finish off Turtle Rock when he was there. He didn't check Laser Bridge when he got the mirror.
No.
So that's unfortunate.
No, yeah, that's true. Right. We talked about the mirror was item go mode, but as you pointed out, we're still short a couple of very important big keys, like Eastern Palace big key. And
the Turtle Rock big key, which is in Turtle Rock.
Right, exactly, yeah. So he decided to basically not hop down to Laser Bridge. Oh man. Right, because he just saved me quit out Turtle Rock.
Yeah. So there's actually 3 matches at 3:10. So there's the Missing Playoffs versus JKOL LOL on Speed Gaming. Then over on Speed Gaming 6, we've got Nielsen Alex, the Spec Rock Bonkers, versus Noble Foxes, who's Nobly's also here in the chat. So that should be a good one over on Speed. There's silvers, by the way. Free silvers, anyone?
Super free, yeah. Bow and Eastern. How about that?
Let's check that one out. And then also at 3:10, the Turtle Rockers versus TM32 God Route. That's on the League channel. That's FaZe and Alex Santos versus Zeke and Drakey. Beats from the East versus WJB, DTDB, DTDD, DWJ.
Yeah, that's quite the mouthful.
That's Moogle and Jula Ninja, so that'll be good. Versus JP and Willard. And the save and quit from the light world gets him right on top of the pyramid. So that's one of the
Mhm.
benefits of
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
AGA.
See? Yeah, not only of course is AGA, required or for this particular scene, but like, his aggressive decision, right, to basically just skip, well, not super aggressive, right? But decide to do AGA pays off, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah, and Willard's actually is he on the guest this Monday?
He
For your podcast?
is. Yeah, he is on the show on Monday. It's a really good one too.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to listening because I think so. From the last,
that was fast.
Wow. All right. So thank you, Boyner route, Dark, what a Southwest Room route.
Right.
We're all set and ready to go.
That was fast.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that'll be out this Monday, and then next Thursday we'll have Zero Rush.
Oh,
that'll be on Thursday, and then the season finale is the following Monday, and that's with Andy.
The season finale's already here.
I know, that's crazy, huh? I've had a lot of fun season 2. Season 1 was a lot of fun too, but season 2 I talked to a lot of people that I wasn't really familiar with or didn't have as much contact with beforehand. I haven't done the Andy episode yet. I'm recording with Zero Rush today, but I'm really excited to talk to Andy because he's the reason that I started watching and playing the game. Is
I think Andy's the reason for like 95%
right,
of people
right.
in the community or he has some deal with it.
Right. It's like, oh, I watched Andy, and then someone watched me, and so it's like,
yeah,
because
exactly. Right.
it all ties back to Andy somehow. So I'm really excited about that one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like kind of listening to again, like your podcast has like I think it's a lot of different perspectives from like a lot of different areas of the community, but like Willard and Andy especially, I think you mentioned this before, like they've been around probably like the longest or for quite some time. So I think it's actually really great to hear some of the lore, I guess, right? Because everyone's lore is like, I started watching Andy, right? Or I started,
right.
my journey started GDQ for this. But I think like so what's what's Andy's backstory? What's Willard's backstory?
Right. Yeah, Willard's is really good. We get into his history with like acting and stuff that I don't know if a lot of people know about.
I did hear that he was an actor.
So yeah, it's really fun. So I'm excited for people to check that one out on Monday.
All right. Okay. So Humbug, of course, with everything that he has, is flown through this gauntlet.
Right.
And unfortunately, still is, and yeah, this is again a consequence of not being not being in go mode. He still needs a couple of big keys, and I mean, he's gonna do Meyer, but again, I think like in this case, like the difference between go mode, quote unquote, key sanity Meyer, right, or like spoiler Meyer versus he's gonna full clear this place. Quite big. Yeah, even in like at least in just regular non-key shuffled, right? Like Meyer can be variable. Maybe you still hold out some hope that it's not a God Meyer, right? If you're still looking for stuff, but yeah, there's no comparison here.
Yeah.
Humbug manages to stay on the platform. A very difficult feat actually with Moldorm.
What mode do you think Humbug's going to pick for next week's 216? It's going to be entrance related, probably, right?
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, good question. I actually don't know if Humbug has a preference, because like literally every single mode I've seen him play, he just absolutely crushes.
Yeah, it's true.
But I certainly would not be surprised in this case if some sort of entrance. I think that would be pretty interesting. Especially he's also still in the entrance extravaganza. Like he and Relkin teammates, lead teammates, also both qualify for next week, so that should be pretty exciting.
Right. Ari asking for vanilla preset. I'd be okay with that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. No tracking from vanilla preset.
That's right. That's right. So that was a very quick Ganon's Tower from Humbug there. Not surprising with how good he is at this game. I really wonder if any of the runners in the race ended up skipping Aga. I doubt it, but it's
You mean
it's
you mean
there.
initially or?
Well,
'Cause
if you get the hammer and the fire rod, you don't need to do Aga.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You're right. We can logically break the seed, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's actually a really good. That's actually a very interesting point.
Humbug, I need to get on the show at some point too.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Okay, there's so many good people in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, so do you actually know? You mentioned there might be a longer break, I think, between seasons now. Like
Yeah.
between season X, yeah. So
I have no idea. I have no real like set plans for season 3 yet, so. But get your GGs in chat for Humbug as he gets ready to cross the bridge and take the victory on the restream.
Yeah, I mean it's actually a pretty decent time, all things considered.
Yeah, where that hammer was for sure. He finishes with a time of 1:37 even. That's good enough for first on the restream and second overall. 2C, unsurprisingly, finishes first with a 1:35.29. GG's to 2C, GG's to Humbug.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious now to see, like, as you mentioned, one, do people do Aga, and two, like, how early or late did they find the hammer, right?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, like, Humbug, he certainly made, like, very, again, like, reasonable decisions. Like, he did, I think, quite well. It just happens to be that, the hammer was a very elusive item for him. And thank goodness he decided to keep going to Catfish, because that would have been, I think, another
that would have been pretty
terrible
bad.
feeling later.
We are joined by today's winner, Humbug. GG's, dude.
Yo, Humbug, GG's.
That one felt pretty good, huh?
Good evening. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Well, I mean, the seed felt good at certain points, right? Like, I'm sure you did well, like, in the beginning, right? Like, you went to Aga pretty early. I think that was a good decision on your part.
No. It wasn't!
It looked
Just
pretty early.
flipper to East Starcore and get your fucking hammer and you're fine!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have been tilted to the end of the world for 1.5 hours. I am pissed off beyond recognition. This is fucked up.
So you did Aga, everything was going great. You're in light road, all that stuff, you get the stuff. Hitman actually died to Aga, and he went back up, and then he ended up getting the hammer a lot earlier than you.
Oh my god.
And got the boots, and then the big thing was you both going up to Hera didn't dip back into Turtle Rock to get that mirror.
Yeah.
And that sort of like, just escalated things.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like I was so going over there at that point. I just found my boots. I think. Yeah. This was pre-hookshot. I ran past Hookshot Cave by mistake. I didn't realize that I could get an item in there. I was just so focused on Hera. And I had already been inside of Turtle Rock, so I didn't want to go to the right side only to get 2 small keys. Because like in my head, that was the only thing that was there, and I kind of wanted a big key before going in again. But then everything was there.
Right.
So okay, like I last locate my glove in Skull because
Yep.
Screw that chest.
Yep.
And invert it anyway.
Easiest room in the game.
Yep. Yep. Fair enough. The room is fine usually, but I just don't want to get there. And then the thing with the hammer.
Yeah.
Hard last location.
Was there any thought about saving and quitting after the hammer?
No
Okay.
way.
Okay.
No way. I am not leaving Catfish.
Oh, phew, phew.
There's no yeah, exactly. There's
I'm
no
a little
chance.
worried you might just leave after that, but
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. But the thing is, those two instances were not the most that tilted me the most.
Mm.
Was it Hera basement?
Oh, you got it. Jesus Christ! I was about to explode when I saw that. Oh, I had set up the
Yeah.
perfect effort.
Yeah,
I had
it was
avoided the
flash-
Stalfos.
Yeah.
I like walked around in eights around the stupid Stalfo. And then I get hit by that.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Okay, so Humbug. All right, so
Yep.
Fear actually has reminded us that your league team and his league team is actually playing each other next week in Invrosia. So question number one: are you playing next week? And then question number two: if you are playing, what lessons have you learned from this particular seed that you might implement in your future future week?
I think when we talked about it in our team, like who would play, I think I answered in a manner of I'm up for it for sure. Like this seed sort of makes me not up for it anymore, but yeah, no. I am playing. Lessons learned. I'm gonna be stubborn here and say none.
Yeah.
None. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was this seed,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yep.
Usually my route in Inverted early on, like I'm not doing the Skullwood Speaky chest. I'm just not. I'm dropping down the hole because I want to go to Hype Cave with bombs.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it very seldom hurts me. And just the stupid hammer being there, like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, I jokingly said after, because Hitman checked Super Bunny, you skipped out Super Bunny.
Yep.
And I jokingly said if I was in, well, it wasn't a joke because I would have been correct in this situation, but I can say jokingly like, oh, he, doing all of the checks and last locating Aga, maybe now you just make it worse by current jumping over to the pyramid and stuff. But I don't know how you could actually do that realistically.
Yeah, like it's such a slim chance that the hammer is there, right?
Right,
And that
right.
the only thing that can prevent you from Aga at that point is a hammer or a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only things being over there that can help.
Yeah.
Everything else is just trash. Like you're gonna get them after Aga anyway, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually stand by most of my plays apart from like running past Hookshot Cave. That was dumb. Luckily it didn't hurt. But yeah. Stupid seed.
Stupid seed be stupid.
Stupid seed. Seed be stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And any thoughts on what next week's mode's going to be?
Oh, am I the one who's gonna?
Yeah, the winner of the restream gets to pick.
Oh, the winner of the restream. Oh man, I didn't think of that at all.
Okay. Well,
It's not like I thought I was gonna win while playing.
let you think about that. Hitman did forfeit, so get your GGs in for Hitman. We'll see if he wants to talk about the seed too. But yeah, you get to choose. You don't have to answer now, but hopefully before Monday, so we can get on the show.
Yep, for sure. I am an entrance aficionado.
That's what we were talking about that. We were wondering if you were going to pick an entrance mode.
I probably will.
Yeah.
We'll see which one. There are a couple to choose between, but yeah, probably an entrance mode anyway.
Yeah, the boots on Cold Stare. I still can't, locked by the hammer. It's just like such a rude seed.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, how have you been enjoying the entrance extravaganza? Like, do you have a favorite entrance mode? I guess, Humbug.
Regular cross keys, I think.
Okay.
I like it's. I can understand putting veterans above it. I think. like people's preferences and whatnot. But I still think that cross keys is at least my favorite. I do like my pseudo boots. I can tell you that.
All right. Well,
Yeah, but yeah, regular cross keys probably is gonna be the one.
I agree. I think cross keys is better, but I think for co-op, I think I enjoy veterans more than I enjoy I enjoy co-op cross keys. Yeah.
Hard agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think like
that's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, like with when you're solo, like slogging through a 2.5 hour entrance seed with no boots kind of feels like not great. But I think if you have a buddy, right, like if you're slogging through, together, right, and this all is really fun. That you
We are now joined by Hitman. GG's, dude.
Yo, GG's Hitman.
GG.
I mean, we'll just get we'll just talk about it. Aga, right? Were you able to remain calm? Because it felt like you were able to take that moment and still play your game for the most part and not get too tilted.
Yeah, it was like frustrated, obviously, with the death, but then, you just gotta try to put it behind you.
Yeah, I thought you did a really good job of that. We talked about, if you listen to the show, tilt is a big topic, and that moment for me would have been really, really tough. But you seem to be able to push right through it and continue on. In fact, you got the hammer a lot earlier than Humbug did. Got those boots. The real misstep was not going back into Turtle Rock, and then after getting the mirror, not going and doing Laser Bridge, which had the two big keys that you needed for go mode.
Yeah, as soon as I saved and quit out of Turtle Rock, I was like, why didn't I go back in? But
yeah,
one of those inverted quirks.
Yeah, totally. Overall, though, what'd you think of the seed and the mode?
Overall, it wasn't bad, and Invrosia is always a lot of fun. Nice change of pace from regular rando.
The hammer location, though.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
That's sort of an understatement.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, actually, so I guess I'm curious, because so Humbug, like when you eventually went to go get your hammer, you went, you started Link's house and then swam up, right? Do pyramid into Catfish. Hitman, you went the opposite direction. I think like you started Sank, I want to say, Dark Sank, and then you did Catfish first down to pyramid. So I guess like any particular, I guess like reasoning as to why one of you went north to south and the other one went from south to north.
I like in my case, this is highly something that I do because I cannot stand like going to a place and then going back the same direction I came. It just I don't know what it is with that specific action. I really don't like it. I don't care if it's faster. I just don't like it. So like going to Catfish, planning on actually ending up in the pyramid after Catfish, it just hurts my head. I don't like it.
So it's like cartography. Yeah. It's like cartography percent, right? Like
exactly. Yeah. Yep, for sure. I want to see every screen of the game at least once.
Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Hitman? About your I guess like your Catfish to pyramid, because like when you went there, I mean that was actually a very big moment. Like it sounded like like the Aga death probably wasn't the greatest morale boost, but then I think like from then on the next 10 to 15 minutes it was fire rod, hammer into Ice Palace with the boots, into Kingston with the hookshot, and then suddenly you had so much.
Yeah, I think my plan originally was I was gonna do Catfish, then do pyramid and go into pod, but then when I got the hammer, I was like, well, I can full clear ice, so let's go down there first. And then, like you said, that just lit things from there. Yeah,
I mean, it certainly really just seemed like the yeah, I guess like more like mood tracker, I guess, right? It's like, yeah, maybe you didn't feel so great at the beginning, but I think it seemed like, you know, after getting all that stuff in the mid game, it just like really did help. And then again, I think like maybe it didn't, you know, go maybe quite as well at the end when you basically, you know, again, I think we talked about that, right? Is when you last look at your mirror. I mean, like your decisions are very reasonable, right? Because you're going to all these like high density locations, but it's just like that doesn't have to be in this case where your progression has to be, right?
Before we move on, let me ask both of you: how's week 1 going for you guys in the league?
We have played one game. Relkin and Will got the win, and we have Will and I have our game tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. Our second match.
Cool.
So it's going well.
I wish you luck in that match, and then terrible luck in the following week.
Yeah, I wonder who they're playing.
Wow!
This week.
Wow! Rude.
Well, you know, from what I understand, Fear is potentially actually sitting this one out. So this was a purely scouting, restream for him. So
that's why.
So I just made a mistake. I just made a mistake signing up.
Exactly.
That was my mistake. I shouldn't have signed up at all.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, Fear's going back to his team with detailed notes.
Yeah, I've got it all.
Yep.
And how about you, Hitman? How's week 1 going for you?
Pretty good. We won our first 2 matches. I played with Zephyr in the first one, Zephyr and Bread. Played the second one yesterday, and then next week I'm doing Invrosia, so this was some good practice for that.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
We'll be playing I believe we have the Joy of Rando next week.
Right.
as our
Okay.
opponents.
Cool.
So excited
Yeah,
for that, having a lot of fun with the league.
Yeah.
Co-op's always fun, as everybody knows.
Yeah, I mean, like the guy who started the league, man, like, yeah, he was really onto something, don't you think?
Yeah, so if only we knew who that was.
Yeah, some moron. Humbug, I'm glad we're in the same division though. I can't wait to knock you guys out.
Shut up.
Your team's scary,
Next week is
man.
gonna be fun.
Your team is scary. Yeah.
If Hammer is on Pyramid and either of your 2 seeds, I am I'm going to have
Yeah, like you're not the one to talk, Fear. Like saying our team is scary, I mean. But yeah, it's gonna be super fun. I just assume that I'm gonna get Ramon because time zones.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well.
Yeah. And then I think it's gonna be Will, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'll see.
We will see. All right. I think that's going to do it. Unless Claremont, you have any questions for our guests?
No, thank you so much, guys, for racing this. Hitman, yeah, always cool to see you on Restream. Humbug, thank you for your sacrifice for Fear's behalf.
Yeah. Any day. Thanks for hosting. Both Fear and Fear Mouse. It's super cool. This thing. It was my first attending of these weekly seats, but they are super fun.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy it a lot.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad you guys glad we're able to have you on, and thanks for doing it. That's gonna do it for us here. We're gonna raid Magnet Hands is doing a ladder, open ladder, and then I'll be back tonight with my race with Gamachu versus Don't Forget to Check Us. That's gonna be over on Speed Gaming 2, so check that out. Claire Mouse, thank you so much for waking up and doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
This was a blast. No, thank you so much, Fear, for letting me hop on and chat some Ambrosia with you. Yeah, and best of luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, thanks everyone. We're gonna go raid Magnet Hands. Listen to 216 this week with Willard on Monday, so check it out. Bye everyone.